All right, we are now live, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for another edition of the end of day PulseWave report. It's been a few days. I missed you all this week. Things didn't go the way as I planned them to go. Had some technical difficulties, but I got some new equipment, so we're back. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. So it's good to be back. It's good to be back. All right, so this is going to be quick. As you know, tomorrow is Take Back Friday. Okay. Take Back Friday is where your market, if it's been down, you can expect it to be up, um, you know, for the week. And it's a little bit of reversals. You know, there's profit taking, obviously, and it's not always the case, though. Not always the case. There are some differences. It doesn't always happen. Sometimes people just want to pile on. They say, "Oh, the market's weak, so we're gonna pile on. That's what we're gonna do," and that'll happen. So sometimes Fridays can be big continuations. So you just never know. All right, let's jump right into this. We're gonna look at a few charts, and then we're gonna call it a night. All right, the first chart. Now, all these are weekly charts because you need to see something here, okay? Check this out. This is where we are right now, all things being equal, right? This is Facebook. As you can see, it just fell off the face of the earth today. Now, on this weekly chart so far, if this is where unless something changes drastically, you're setting up for a major continuation of selling going into next week, and you're already putting in a leg down, and you are in a bear market on this weekly chart. Price is below trend line and below Kumo cloud. That is what we call a bear market, ladies and gentlemen. Can it change? Of course. Anything is possible. Anything can happen. All we got to do is see people come in and they think, "Oh, this is overdone. Let's get long the market." And there you have it. That's all it takes. So just something to think about as we are, going forward. You just never know with the markets sometimes how they want to move. All right, I see you. You want to see Litecoin? Here's your Litecoin real quick. Okay, so far, all things being equal, Litecoin is setting up for a possible major reversal going into next week. Looks like we are creating a major buy signal so far. Unless something changes, looks like we're creating a buy signal for next week on the weekly chart on this Litecoin. Ladies and gentlemen, looks like the bottom is now in. We'll see. We'll see what happens 6 p.m. New York Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. Unless something changes, this is what we're looking to do. So we could see a possible retrace back up to the trend line resistance of around $150. So not bad. Not bad. All right, here's what the dollar looks like so far this week. Looks like we're setting up for a crash alert sell signal going into next week. Now, we'll see where this market settles, but it looks like it's headed toward the trend line of 94. That's where the support is. All right, you can see we've been in a bull market for a little bit, for a while here on this weekly chart, several months. Just been going up, up, up. And now the market looks like it could be ready to top out. Last sell signal was back here. You see we had all this downside production. This one could be more of the same. We shall see. We shall see. Flipping over at real estate. This is how real estate's looking, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know, but it looks like we're setting up for a rally alert buy signal going into next week for IYR. This is the real estate ETF. Looks like the market wants to bounce off the trend line support like it did back here and right here. All right, this one gave us nice upside production. This one gave you massive upside production. All right, so we'll see. Looks like we could have a nice turn of events. But what about oil? Well, if you look at OIH, ticker OIH, you're still pretty much sideways. You're in this Kumo cloud here, and you're flip-flopping in the cloud. Nothing is really going on. You haven't had any movement this week. It's been a narrow range inside week so far. So you're just still sideways, no clear trend in OIH. If you look at the NASDAQ 100 by way of the QQQ, this is an interesting chart as well. Now, we came into this week with the major rally alert buy signal as the market was bouncing off the trend line support. We did have a nice little upsurge, and now look at us. The market is at the low point of the week. So unless something changes and the bulls come in and defend this trend line, we could be coming back down. I don't know. It's possible to flip-flop. All things are possible. You are under a corrective situation here, the beginning of a bear market on your weekly. Now, the market can defend itself. The NASDAQ can come back from this. It's done it before. You just don't remember when the last time it is because it happened many moons ago. Let's go back. Let's rewind the clock for you. We spent some time below the trend line. It started back the week of March of 2020. And we stayed that way and did not get back above it until the week of April the 10th of 2020. So, been here before. All right. And prior to that, you see, back here, it was even worse. This was the week of December the 7th of 2018. Total collapse, right? Just crashing. But then the market recovered. So it's possible that the selling was overdone. Finally got that correction to the trend line, and now the market's ready to run. We'll see. Fingers crossed, because depending on what happens tomorrow, if we roll over and fall over the cliff and into that Kumo cloud, it's a wrap, right? But right now, we came into the week with the rally alert buy signal, a major rally alert buy signal, a trend reversal signal. And so far, the market has retreated from all of its gains this week. So this is getting interesting. What about silver? Well, if you take a look at SLV, you'll see that this market has had nothing going on this week. Very narrow range inside bar. Nothing happening. And you came into this week with a crash alert sell signal. You're not getting any real downside momentum here. You're not getting any production. But I think the selling pressure is about to escalate. On this weekly, this right here marks the beginning of accelerated sell orders coming into the market. Haven't realized that yet in the price, but we'll see between tonight and tomorrow. We'll see. The last sell signal like that gave us nothing, and the market flip-flopped and rallied. So we'll see what happens. But right now, even with all of this, you're trendless, but the bias right now overall is to the bulls right now, believe it or not. Market on pullbacks is not collapsing and breaking any supports. So you're okay right now. All right, moving right along. What about the semiconductors? What's going on with these chips? Well, here you go. So far, it looks like the market is trying to put in a rally alert buy signal going into the next week. We'll see what happens based on tomorrow. Tomorrow's key. This could change, but so far, looks like the bulls want to defend the trend line support and try to get back some of these losses, probably get back up to around 290-ish. Perhaps we'll see, because the market is still under the auspices of a correction. So that's gonna put a lot of pressure on the bulls. Next up is the S&P 500 by way of the SPY ETF. We came into this week with a rally alert buy signal. The market did give you that nice upside production before reversing. So far, the bears are keeping this going. They're holding this market at bay. Still under the auspices of a correction, the bears still have the advantage, hence the red zone. So we are at a crossroads here. Can the bulls wrestle back some control, or is this rally going to be, really faded and sold hard like we saw today? As far as bonds, by way of ticker TLT, you're still below Kumo cloud, below trend line, as this signifies bond prices are in a bear market on your weekly chart, which means yields have no place to go but up. Inflation will start to hurt even more, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, that's what we got. As far as nat gas, by way of ticker UNG. So this one came into this week with a rally alert buy signal and gave beautiful upside production before pulling back here. So it's still, the jury is out, but it looks like this market will be poised to run. It's possible you could even pull back to the trend line support at 14 bucks, but the market will appear to be well supported around those levels. I think this one wants to run. Temperatures have been quite cold. So right now, the bulls got it. You're in the green zone on UNG. We'll see what these markets close tomorrow. Going to be important. Let's see. As far as the gold miners, this is what they're looking like. All right, this is GDXJ. So you flip-flopped. You came into this week with a crash alert. You didn't get any downside production. Now the market appears to be flip-flopping with a trend change, rally buy signal going into next week, possibly based on, depends on what we do tomorrow and what happens. Okay. So we'll see. Okay. I see you there. Dave says, so there are rumors of a big drop in gold and silver incoming. What do you think? That is a very, very, very good question. So let's pull up the chart and see what we got on gold and silver. All right. I showed you SLV. Let's take a look at GLD. All right. Here's GLD. Still sideways. I don't know what people are talking about claiming droppage. Right now, the market seems to be just stuck in this sideways movement. You're stuck with the week of June 18th, 2021. That is your consolidation bar, and that's where price has been for the last several months. It has not moved in like 6 months. It's not moved. You're just flat. You got a flat line. Look at your trend line. It's flat. It goes from right to left in a straight line almost. But the bears overall longer term have been in control of this market, not allowing it to rally. Every rally comes out to be sold. So can a drop happen? Yeah, it could, only because we're in the red zone. We're in the red zone here. We're in a bear market. So I expect selling. I expect that, sideways to lower prices. So we will continue to trend sideways, and or we could pick up pressure and selling. According to this line that shoots up right here, it looks like we got a positive bot check for selling. So depending on what happens going into next week, I see more of the same, sideways to lower prices. That's what the system is showing us. So I have to stick with the algo chart here. Stick with the system. I think that saying more downside is coming is not out of the question. You're in a bear market. You're in the red zone. All right. Taking a look at our Illuminati index, looking at hack. All right. On the weekly, looks like this one is also trying desperately to find a bottom. So far, it's setting up itself for a rally alert buy signal, saying that the bottom could very well be in this week, and we could be looking to get back up to the trend line, which is around the $58 mark. So very interesting based on how the market closes tomorrow. We'll see. Let's just take a look at the banking sector today. Here's Bank of America came into the week with a rally alert buy signal, and we got a little bit of upside production before the market kind of paused. So right now you're still under the auspices of a correction. The bears are still in control. This is a red zone, but you really haven't gotten the downside production that you would expect at this time. So you're in a black. You're not trending. You're not doing anything. You're just stuck. All right. The bears have it. So sideways to lower prices to be forecast until the market changes direction. So black bars mean bear market. Blue bars mean bull market. And right now, the market is bearish until something happens in Bank of America. Last but not least, Bitcoin. All right, so here is the mighty Bitcoin on the weekly chart. Take a look at this. Now, we are very bearish. Market started off in a bull market correction. It's very fastly became a bear market on the weekly chart. Bears in full control of this market. So far, we came into this week expecting a continuation. I was expecting this bar to at least be around about right here right now, but it's not. It's kind of just dangling over the edge. So I'm expecting more downside to come as the bears are clearly in control of this particular market right now. And again, black bars mean the bears are in control. The blue bars mean the bulls are in control. And that's where it is right now on the weekly chart. So unless something happens, we'll see what happens between now and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard New York time on Sunday. With that being said, everyone have a wonderful, wonderful weekend and stay safe out there. Be vigilant. If you are in the markets, make sure you're popping your way through these trades. Stick with the system and you will be okay. Just follow the system, follow the rules of money management and moving your stops. Pop your way through these trades. Don't turn winning trades into losing trades. All right. And you got a little something special. I did an update tonight. You'll notice on your dashboard when you go into your loaded charts, I went ahead and blessed you with the augmented loaded charts. You will now be able to use the same identical loaded charts that I use. So if you look at Dex's watch list on the dashboard, you'll see that you're using what I am using. Briefly, what it shows you is when to use the day trade mechanism versus when to use the trend mechanism. So it lets you know when the market is trending and when it's not trending, and should you use the day trade entry. So for instance, if there's no number and on the loaded entry column, that means you should be ignoring the day trade and you should be focusing on on the trend following part of the day trade system. So it's really nice. Takes a lot of the guesswork out, makes it a little bit easier to read the charts and all that stuff. So have at it, enjoy yourself. That's what I use every day to know how I want to trade something. And it's also a great way to catch intraday reversals, because I've taught you guys here for years now, most of your market action comes without warning. All right. And there's no warning. It just happens. The market decides, you know what? I'm crashing today. Or you know what? I'm going to explode higher today. And that's what the loaded reports are designed to do, to put you on the right side. Wherever the bias is, that's where you're going to have something, a trade trigger for. So it's really neat. I think you're going to really enjoy using it. Like I said, it's going to take a lot of the guesswork out, and it'll put you on the right side of the markets. All right. Just for those that don't know, loaded reports have you pretty much in the market every day, either long or short. And there's always a stop and reverse mechanism in place. So if you're long, get stopped out, then you reverse and get short, and vice versa. So you're always in the market, long or short, every day. looking to take a nice little chunk out of whatever the daily market performance is and whatever you're trading. All right. So if you haven't used the loaded charts, reports, it may be something that you want to consider doing. You should try your hand at it, man, and see what happens. Dip your toe in. I think you're going to be very pleased at just how incredibly accurate those reports are. They're fast, though. You're not necessarily going to stay in a trade, more than a day or two, 3 tops. But if the market's trending, you'll be able to really catch some really good ones, and you'll be in it for a few days. But normally, it's like a 24 to 48 hour holding time. So it's just how the system moves. All right. With that being said, you know what it is. Bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. And I am out. Peace.